On the 27th of December, I, 29F, got an icky feeling since my BF, 30M of 5 years, was on his phone a lot on Christmas Day with his family and Boxing Day with my family. We had just spent the last 2 years of our weekends building our new home. He is a builder and I was his apprentice in the weekends. Both our family would help work with us every weekend to build our stunning new home. We moved in 2 days for Christmas, so we had 3 nights in our new home. We had moved in with my parents to save money for the last 6 months of the build. Throughout the last 6 weeks, he has been staying more at his parents', which I encouraged and supported, since I thought he was so stressed with the build and getting over living with my parents. After Boxing Day with my family, I went to sleep with an awful feeling and woke up at 2 a.m. from a nightmare that he was cheating. So I carefully took his phone out from under the pillow and locked myself in the bathroom. I found months of messages, videos and photos of everything. An affair with a widowed client, 45F, with 3 children. I woke up my brother to show him and make sure I wasn't going crazy and stood behind me when I woke him up and told him to get out of the house. He wanted to meet me before we meet with others to discuss the next steps with the house. He wanted to meet without anyone else present so we can get things off our chest, but I'm nervous he will just use that to gaslight me and try to justify what he's done, so I've refused. I've written a short novel of how I feel and I don't know what to do with it. Should I read it out loud to him, send it to him, post in on my FB and tag him? And should I change the last word? Any thoughts are super appreciated. Here is it. If you were a decent man. I don't understand what went wrong. Or when you went from my beautiful, supportive, hard-working partner who I thought I was going to have an amazing future with, to this. To someone who could betray me so badly. To never give me honesty when you should have. To keep me strung along believing you were simply stressed while you were out creating a relationship with someone else. I asked you months earlier about her and told you I was uncomfortable with her, and yet you worked so hard to reassure me and tell me I was being ridiculous. I will never understand if it's just the sex, the money of hers, or the thought of living with her in your dream home that gave you the rush. I will never understand why you didn't end it with me when you knew you wanted to be with her. Was it simply the rush of keeping a secret, or did you want it to fizzle out between us so the truth never came out? I don't understand how after 10 years of friendship and 5 years being together you could treat me like this. You could so quickly, completely lose all respect for me, for someone who loved you entirely. It makes me feel sorry for you, that you will never know love, as you will always be looking for the next best thing when things get rough. If you were a decent man who simply fell in love with someone else, you would have ended it. You wouldn't have continued to make me feel good so you could sleep with me. You wouldn't have continued staying with me at my or your parents' house. You wouldn't have made me feel guilty for going out with my friends and not helping at the house, or convincing me not to be at the house when I wanted to so you could meet up or send nudes and videos to her. You wouldn't have gone for dates with her on her farm while making me believe you were working hard at a client's house. You wouldn't have let me continue working at our home, or let me get upset about the decisions we still had to make. You wouldn't have let me move all our things into our new home when you already knew you didn't want to be there. If you were a decent man, you wouldn't have taken me to your niece's first birthday and meet up with her the morning after while I was doing your Christmas shopping. You wouldn't have had Christmas with both of our families while messaging her all day. You wouldn't have sent her photos of you seconds before I sat next to you. You wouldn't have had sex with me, and moments after message her that you couldn't wait to have your cock in her. You wouldn't have blown off my suggestions of summer plans because you were already planning how you could secretly meet up with her. If you were a decent man, you wouldn't have let me sleep in the bed with you when you had your phone under our pillow with naked videos of her and masturbating videos of you to her. You wouldn't have said the first words, "I haven't been fucking her," when I told you to get out of the house. You wouldn't have said, "I've been trying to tell you for months." You wouldn't have sent your first and only apology of just touching base. I know this is hard, sorry. If you were a decent man, you wouldn't have done any of this. But you are not a decent man. You're not the man I thought you were. The man who kept talking about and planning our future. The man who was working his ass off with me to create a beautiful home for our future. The man who was proud of me for working hard to build our home with you. But you are not a decent man. You are not the man who I'm going to have a family with. You are not the man who will continue to emotionally manipulate me. You are not the man that I ever have to make excuses for again, and I am so grateful for that. I am strong. I will be fine. I will be more than fine. I will live the most beautiful, happy life. But that doesn't excuse the fact you've ripped my dream home away from me. You've ruined my chance of trusting someone completely. You've tainted my memories from the past 5 years, and you've caused me heartache I never deserved. You're not a decent man. You are a cunt.